So welcome to my very first ever 6 cards a set series featuring this time the Hero Arts February monthly card kit. We are going to have so much fun. This is the first card in the series and it is definitely not a clean and simple card, but it was so much fun to make. I had a blast and let's get started. So you can see here I have a diagonal embossing folder, but I actually needed the bottom part of my cardstock to look like wood panel, straight up and down, vertical. And so I had to put it at an angle. And so I am, as you saw in the picture previously, I'm making a window. So the background is going to be more of like the wallpaper on the top portion, the wood paneling on the bottom, and there's our window. So I used all of this from the kit, not the cardstock, but all the dies are from the kit. And so what I'm going to do there, you saw me kind of outlining so I can know where to put this awesome rain. This stamp is from the kit, of course, and I'm going to stamp this all throughout that window panel. So it just looks like a torrential downpour in this card. And this part was very simple. I probably could have done it much faster had I used just an acrylic block and then just stamped it out. However, I felt that I really didn't want the angles or the lines to be off too much, so it was easier for me to lay down the stamp and see exactly where it was going to be each time I was going to stamp it. So that's why I used the Misty for this. I definitely probably could have got away with it doing the other way, but it was no big deal for me to take the time to do that. And so each time I'm stamping it, I have to wipe it clean, then to reposition it on the cardstock, which is, by the way, watercolored paper, and then pick it up again. So you could see me doing that. Of course, I sped it up. The card itself took me quite a long time. This was not a quick and fast card, mostly because I learned a lot of tricks along the way. There was some new embellishments I had to create, and so through trial and error, I think I added an extra hour to my time here, but it was okay. It was fun, and if I ever want to do this again, I know exactly what to do. So I will go through that pain for you. There you go. How's that? So right here, I'm off to another piece of paper. This is Nina Solar White. I believe this is 110 pound because I had extra laying around. I had stamped out some lightning bolts and then my little girl holding her umbrella. You can use any color medium, of course, but with little stamps that have very small footprint, if you will, I don't like to use a lot of blending. I think it's much faster if I just use something simple, and my gel pens are just that. They're so simple to use, and they're so cute, and these have glitter in them. So who wouldn't love these gel pens? And they were really cheap. I got them at AC Moore, I believe, for maybe $20 for like 60 of them. I don't remember. Yeah, I'm useless right now as far as that goes, but I think I have it saved, so I'll put it below. But just cheap gel pens, nothing expensive. And sometimes if you have them and you can't get them to roll or to work, I know this sounds weird, but if you put it over your mouth and suck like a straw, it tends to pull some of that ink towards the bottom, so it should work. That seems to be what works for these as well. So I'm just finishing up coloring her, cute as a button, and I cut her out with one of the coordinating dies that came with the set. So here I am placing the inner portion of my the panel right down just through that die cut, so you can see. And next I'm going to put some acetate behind the window so it makes it look even more realistic. And so I'm just putting some strong adhesive tape on the back and laying out my adhesive. And I really like the added touch. I'm not making a shaker card, but I definitely like the way it turned out because of the glossy window piece. Laying down my bolts of lightning, and you want to make sure when you do this that bolt of lightning shows and is not in one of the window panes. So you want to make sure that you lay out at least a little bit of your project. I did that all throughout. I kept going back and forth, but I just cut that for time's sake. On the inside of the card, I am going to finish the inside of the card, which I love doing, and I really need to make more time for that. So I stamped the cloud, that beautiful cloud, that comes in the stamp set, and then I masked it off so I could put the sun as if the sun was peeking through the clouds. And then again, I grabbed a glitter yellow pen and finished that off, and then put my little girl there at the bottom. And the sentiment that I'm going to use for this card, which we'll come back to in a minute, is "May you weather the storm." So I felt that that was fitting, as the front was kind of very dreary, and then the inside was wishing them well and hopefully they get through whatever hard time they're going through. Now this is where I created a new type of embellishment for myself. I wanted a curtain over the front because I just felt like it was way too plain. And so I had these cake pop sticks or lollipop sticks from the bakery section at the craft store. And so I pulled one out and I colored it gray with a Spectrum Noir 1G4, I believe it was. And then I used some super strong score tape to wrap around it. And I'm just going to wrap the curtain, as you can see here what I'm doing, just wrapping the curtain right around that. Okay, that's going to hold it in place. That tape is really super strong. I tried liquid adhesive, even multi-matte medium. It did not work. I could not get it to stay. I may have had to hold it for a solid 5 minutes before it would have, but it just wouldn't go. So I used that tape and that worked finally in the end. And then right here, I've ruched it, kind of going back and forth a little bit, and used my tweezers to hold the curtain. And now I'm just going to tie my bow on the side. This is as if you're hanging your curtains and then you kind of have them pinned to the side. And that was the look that I was going for. So I just used this beautiful, all of this stuff was stuff I had in my stash, but both the ribbons are sort of sheer. And so beautiful brown sheer ribbon there to tie my little bow, and then just snip it to size. I do the same exact thing for the other side of the curtain. So again, for time's sake, I cut that out. And then I just cut them to size here on the window. And I used my fabric scissors for this because they cut like butter. And so that was really important to me that I didn't have any fraying on this because it's going to be the front of the card. On the back of the rod, I used glue dots. I felt like I probably could have used multi-matte medium, potentially. I could have used score tape, but these were small, they were perfect, and they were really strong. And I did the same thing with the glue dots for the back of the bows. And so I put glue dots on the back of there, and so they will stay put on the front of my card. That's the front of the panel. So I was happy with that. I think if I do this again, I definitely would like to switch up the color scheme on the front just to add some newness. I think a light blue would be beautiful, especially with the rain in the background. But whatever floats your boat, just go ahead and pick it up. I'm trying to use some stuff that I have in my stash as well. So then I just adhered that to the front using some strong adhesive. On the inside of the card, like I said, I used "May You Weather the Storm" from the stamp set, and that will finish off the inside of the card. So that does it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like this series. Please, I welcome any comments, input, feedback down below. I would love to hear from you. And if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. And please don't forget to hit subscribe because I have a lot more videos coming your way, especially with this long weekend. It should be a lot of fun. So until next time, have a wonderful, beautiful, bright, sunny day. Bye-bye.